Well, happy Friday to all of you out there. I hope the weekend brings you blessings and joy. The whiskey trials, though, are today, testing the liquid behind the labels. Hello, everyone. My name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are Your Bourbon Journey.
Welcome. Our goal today is novelty versus quality. We're reviewing 3 politically themed bourbons. So let's talk about the first one, Wayne. How did we acquire that bottle?
Well, that bottle was actually sent to me, I believe, in January. It was ordered as a Christmas present by my sister, Vivian, who lives in California. And she basically told me, brother, she likes to say, preface everything, brother. She wanted us to review this bottle. So today, sis, we are going to review this bottle that I have been looking forward to for the past 3, 4, 5 months now.
So let me tell you a little bit about it before we get started. This is Tears of the Left, a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It is made by Tears of the Left, a novelty independent bottler. It was distilled and bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky, sourced through a partner brand. The mash bill is undisclosed. It is not age stated. It is 90.94 proof. Its MSRP is $99.99. It was released in late 2025 and is considered a continuous limited edition. This is bottle number 031246, and the brand leans heavily into presentation, featuring a premium dark display box, custom inserts, including a themed chilling stone or card sets, depending on your specific edition, and has an accompanying Book of Tears cocktail recipe guide. And we got the teardrop for our stone that we could use as a cooling agent, but we drink our whiskey neat, so we didn't do that. But I will say, this is a heck of a cocktail book. It is leather bound. It has so many cocktails in this. You know I'm going to have to be checking that out later. So this pretty good bonus to come along with this. But for today, let's see what's in the glass. Let's put it on trial and see if it's worth drinking.
Because the bottom line is, it's what's in the glass. I don't care about packaging. I really don't. It's what's in the glass. And not everything is for everybody. You know, and in this case, we've known about this been on Facebook for so long. Yeah. You know, advertised and such like that. So I'm curious what it even tastes like.
I would say, just looking at the 3 of them together, they're all similar in color, although it looks like the second one might be a little bit darker.
Yes.
But they're all very light, and they're all around 90 proof. So These are all very light proofed. So they weren't going to try to get us any tears by way of the proof.
It'd been cool. It'd have been cool if the thing were a hazmat, and it could be literally tears. You know, then it'd be like listening to Eric Clapton sing Tears in Heaven.
It's got a very light nose to go with the very light proof.
Yeah, it's about what I would expect from a 90.
I'm getting some notes of sweetness.
One encouraging thing with this so far is I'm not getting ethanol. That's been my big fear with a lot of these novelty bottles, and the couple that we've tried that we've never reviewed, is they get really, really forward with ethanol.
I had a little faith in this one because it's from Bardstown, and we have a feeling we know which one in Bardstown. We don't know exactly, but they usually put out some really good stuff. I am getting hints of vanilla and a little bit of citrus if you go deep in it.
I would agree in the vanilla, and I definitely agree in the citrus. There's something else that's sweet.
Well, I'd say let's go ahead and taste it.
Baking spice, I think, with it. So, cheers to tears. Tears for fears. Cheers.
Cheers. There's something that rings familiar for me.
I've tasted this before.
Yeah. And it's sourced, so we very much could have tasted this before.
Yeah, it's really familiar. It's now, to its credit, I'm not getting ethanol. So that's kind of an added bonus, because usually, 90 proof, you start getting...
It's almost 91. It's 90.94.
90.94, there you go. I guess they wanted to make sure that they weren't matching up with Woodford Reserve and get a lawsuit and all that stuff. So,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, 90.4, like a radio station. The taste's okay. I can't say I love it. I can't say I dislike it, but let me get into it a little bit more while you're talking.
What I was going to say is that it matches the nose pretty well. I do get hints of vanilla and a little bit of citrus. It's very kind of lemon rind kind of thing for me. It's not super sour or anything like that, just like lemon. And I'm getting a nuttiness on it. So it's coming across a little bit nutty. I don't know if it's the barley note or if it's something to do with their yeast strain, but it's not like peanutty, but it's light, almond-like kind of nuttiness.
I like the mouthfeel of it, to be honest. Yeah, the mouthfeel is actually pretty good, and I really wasn't expecting that. I didn't have much expectations of this at all.
The legs are very light. They're very light, but the lower proof things, it's really hard to have really good legs. And this is probably a little bit younger. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It doesn't say the age on it. It's not very dark though, so it's kind of hard to say. I'm going to leave a little in my glass in case you want to come back and compare them.
If I remember correctly from what you stated about it, it was stated that it was a continuous limited edition.
Yeah, they made an LLC for this.
Okay.
So they weren't planning on just releasing it one time. They may be planning on doing some other things. So it was not a one-time issuance. And there have been different versions because some of them come with that little teardrop that we got, and some of them come with cards, and the boxes contain different things. So depending on which edition you get, you might get something different.
It just sounds funny to me. It's like continuous limited edition. It seems like both seem opposite. Well, this is a limited edition baseball card you just bought, Wayne. Really, how many are there? Oh, we don't know because it's continuous. Continuous limited? Anyway.
I was going to ask if you're getting anything on the finish. I think it's really light on the finish. It's not super long.
And what you stated on the palate is exactly what I got. And I'm not just saying it because it's easy to state that. Probably the one thing I am enjoying with it, it's a good mouthfeel. And I'm also enjoying, you mentioned like a sort of a citrus and a rind. That is definitely there.
Yeah, it's got that little pop of lemon, which I think is making it bright. Even though this was a Christmas gift for Wayne and we got it in January, got delivered then, it's probably good timing to open it now just because it's more of a summer sipper because it's got that bright citrus note to it. I wouldn't mind sipping on it. I'm not going to, it's perfectly fine. It's not something I would go out and buy, but if someone gifts it to you, it's okay to drink. We've had some other things that were in fancy, special labeled bottles that we didn't like at all. So this is drinkable.
It definitely is. And it's one of those things, if you got somebody that would appreciate the stuff that goes behind it and everything, that would get a kick out of it, it's probably worth it if it's like $90 some. The packaging, all you get, is probably justifiable. The bourbon itself, if you strip that all away, if I'm talking about paying $90 for the bourbon like that, I'd be like, no, pass. But the gimmick, the whole thing, yeah, it's worth it.
I've probably paid $20 for cocktail books like this. So I have a huge collection of cocktail books. This will not be going back in the bottle box. It'll be going to my cocktail books. But for that reason, I would take 20 off the top, because it's probably a $20 cocktail book.
We now have 2 more bottles on the table here. And Rebecca, you go into why they're here.
These are here because I had a recent birthday. My son, Trevor, shocked me with giving me 2 bottles of bourbon. He is not a whiskey drinker. He'll taste things with us, but he's not really into it like we are. We hope he gets into it if you look around the room, because once we're gone, he's going to need to drink some. But anyway, and it was a really heavy bag. And I thought, gosh, it almost feels like bottles in here. And I opened it up, and I'd never seen these bottles before. So that's the other thing. He found something I had never seen or read about in various press releases. And I have Google alerts for press releases. So they're called The Verdict. And I'll tell you a little bit more about both of them because they're incredibly similar. We're going to just share that one time here. The series is called The Verdict, both Not Guilty and Guilty. It is a straight bourbon whiskey. It is an independent bottler, novelty brand, marketed by conservative media networks like the Tatum Show. It is sourced, the mash bill is unknown. It is proudly stated that it is a 6-year-old, which is impressive for a novelty release. This proof is 90, typically retails in the $60 range per bottle. It's often sold as a matching set because it's designed to represent the scales of justice. Both bottles share the exact same age, proof, making them a fascinating control group for a side-by-side tasting. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if my son bought them as a set or not. They didn't come in a box or anything like that. But the Not Guilty is green and the Guilty is red. And the Not Guilty also talks about having brown sugar. So let's dig into these. They should be incredibly similar. We'll start with Not Guilty.
You know, the first thing I think about those, actually,
Oh my gosh, it smells good.
well, there should have been actually a third bottle with this. Hung jury.
Yeah.
That would have been a great cover.
This nose, this is the one that's supposed to have like a brown sugar. It smells like brown sugar.
Oh,
nose.
good gosh. Yeah.
It's like they sourced these barrels and said, that's brown sugar. It has a fabulous nose. And this one has legs. It is 6 years old. Wow, that is a great nose.
It is. All I can think about now is Mick Jagger running around on stage of the Rolling Stones singing Brown Sugar.
Wow.
Almost maple-ish in a way if you get into it.
Almost maple syrup. It goes brown sugar to maple syrup. You're absolutely right. I'm not getting much further. Maybe a little bit of nutmeg, because it's not a spicy thing. It's more soft or like a nutmeg.
And another thing to its credit right now is I'm not getting any ethanol.
No. Probably because it's 6 years old. Even though it's been proofed down to 90, which is often where we get so much of that ethanol note, this one spent a lot of time in the barrel to suck some of that ethanol note out. So it's got more barrel notes, I would think.
Yeah.
I like the nose. I'm ready to taste this one.
Okay, so let's cheers to the verdict not guilty.
Yes.
Cheers.
Wow, that's sweet.
Okay, if I didn't know any better, I would think that this is something that's been blended and isn't a bourbon. It is so maple brown sugar forward that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost a liqueur, but it doesn't say it's a liqueur on there. Normally liqueurs are around 70 proof. So the big 90 proof. It just tastes like a brown sugar bomb. I don't think I've ever used those words on a bourbon before. I've talked about it being a cherry bomb, but never a brown sugar bomb. And this is just crazy. And actually, my son Trevor would love this because he likes sweet things. He would probably drink this one. Low proof and sweet.
Yeah, he probably would. Right now, it's just making me crave pancakes.
Oh my goodness. See, it's more brown sugar for me than maple at this point. And the nose was kind of back and forth. It has phenomenal legs on it. It feels great in your mouth. It's got a decent finish on it too. I like that one. I actually really like that one.
The back part is interesting for me because there comes a point where it really sort of stops this brown sugar effect and it settles and it slowly goes away. It's kind of left a interesting taste in my mouth. I want to say it's almost like a leather.
Yeah, it goes to dark caramel for me on the finish. And the finish is pretty decent. The whole time you were talking, it's just kind of hanging out there. It's not a burn in any way, shape, or form. It's just a warmth. But it stays sweet for me. Not sweet like the nose and the palate, but it's kind of more like dark caramel. So I'm ready to see what guilty's all about. Completely different nose. So if you were wondering, should I buy both bottles? Because they're completely different.
Okay, as distinct as the first one was, this one is not as distinct.
It's closer to tears, to be honest.
Yeah, there is almost a rind, like a orange or lemon rind to it.
Again, it's got great legs forming on it from that 6-year time in the barrel. It's got some sweetness, but it's a lighter sweetness, more like a light vanilla. I'm getting some, like Wayne said, some citrus notes with it, so it's very familiar to the first one.
Now, to its credit, once again, and I'll say this has been consistent with all these bottles so far, I'm not getting ethanol. So I will tip my hat right now to this. I can't get any more.
Well, let's go ahead and taste it.
Cheers to being guilty.
To guilty.
Cheers.
I think it's pretty pleasant. It's not distinct.
The light vanilla, there's not much there. I'm just getting a light vanilla.
It's a very light because it's not super sweet. It's so different from the other one. But people that go for that really light pour, that's lower in proof, that's not going to just drive your palate crazy with a ton of different flavors, this is pretty nice for 90 proof. Got great viscosity, so I still like the way it feels in my mouth. I feel like this finish might be a little longer than the first one. This just really hanging on, but it's still kind of nondescript. But this one has more cinnamon on the finish for me than the first one did, than the Not Guilty did.
It's a good call.
So maybe it's like peppery cinnamon because you're going to the electric chair.
Well,
It's got to have a little hotter.
Well, it says guilty. It didn't say death penalty edition. So, like I said, they could add to it hung jury, death penalty edition.
Oh gosh.
You know,
It's Fun Friday. We like to have fun on Fridays. That's pretty interesting. I do want to do them side by side, these two,
Okay.
just because they are 6 years old, probably same sourcing, and 90 proof. So there's just no, there really is no comparison. And if you were to do these in a blind, I bet anyone out there doing this in a blind, you would pick, oh, this one says brown sugar. It's got to be this one, right?
I'm still saying that tastes like a liqueur.
Definitely sweet. It's almost a dessert bourbon.
I mean, I don't know what barrels they found for that bottle, for the Not Guilty. I have no idea, but boy, it tastes like a liqueur.
I mean, it's called brown sugar bourbon, and it says straight bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. So I don't know. As far as the labeling goes, we discussed this last week on our root beer whiskey discussion because it said straight bourbon whiskey with root beer flavoring. So TTB rules say that you can call it a straight whiskey if you're very clear on the label what you're doing with it. So you start out with the straight whiskey. So I'm guessing they put some natural brown sugar in here.
They didn't, like I said.
I don't know where it came from otherwise.
Yeah, if they didn't, I'd love to find the barrels because I'll tell you, it would be fun to throw another bourbon in those barrels if that's the natural effect. But that's interesting. So they probably did do something to this.
Yeah.
But it maintains a 90 proof as compared to the one we did last week that was only 70.
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting that they chose the really sweet one, the sweet victory, so to speak. I think there's got to be some entendre there. Now, I do want to compare the Tears to the Guilty.
Okay.
Just because they had a similar nose to me. I might like the Tears nose a little bit more. This one's popping a little bit more on me.
I like the Tears nose better. There's actually a sweetness now on the Tears nose that wasn't there the first time.
But I'm going to taste them side by side.
It's almost like a warped spearmint that I'm getting.
Yeah, I would pick Tears over Guilty because I like the nose a little bit better, a little bit more depth. It doesn't have the mouthfeel of the Verdict one, but it's got not only the vanilla and the citrus, I think it's a little more pronounced than it is in this one, but it also has that nuttiness coming through. So I think it's just a little more complex, just a little, just a tad. You're buying them for novelty. So if you want something really sweet, absolutely go with this. Go with the Not Guilty because that's what you want to go with.
Yeah, most definitely. So overall, what did you think of this tasting?
I thought it was really fun. I think that to put some things out on the table that they're selling them to go to a certain crowd, to be kind of a novelty thing, sometimes those can be really, really hard to drink. I thought these were all easy enough to drink. I think they were fine.
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised because we've had some other novelty stuff, and the only one that's memorable to me was Rihanna's, but it was so low proof.
Yeah, and that was really more of a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I had to say, and say if I were the judge, I'd probably say, Not Guilty, because it's pretty good bourbon. There you go. Had to do that.
So I'd like to raise my glass and thank my sister Viviana and my stepson Trevor for providing these bottles today because I really appreciate it. And on camera, I just want you both to know that I love you very much. If you like what we do, hit the subscribe button. Always remember to drink responsibly. And most importantly, always remember to judge what's in the bottle because that is where we determine good bourbon. Cheers.
Cheers.